Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO44 coming at you with another video. All right, so I got some Laker updates for you guys as I try to put some oatmeal together. Pour some water in there. LeBron James, from what I understand, the Lakers are not going to consider trading him, even if he declines to extend with us this offseason. So that gives us some at least some understanding and some clarity as to where we're headed. Regardless if you're pleased or not, direction is something that we can hang our hat on. Because everything has been about speculation and hearsay, and we share our opinions. My opinion personally is I'm not, because I'll be contradicting myself if I say the wrong thing. So let me make sure I get my point across very clearly. I'm not against LeBron James being a player on my team. You know what I mean? Not at all. He is one of the most elite athletes the world has ever seen. I just understand that you're not just getting the body and the mind and the person. You're getting the circus, the demands, and the desires of his clutch company and his friend's company. Those are the things that come with LeBron James, and those things may balance out in terms of how great he is, it has been, but it may not based on his injury history as of late. So if we could just get LeBron James by himself, the player and all of the actions that come with him, the person, hey, I'm cool. I'm good with that. The guy that has the school, he's a great guy, cool guy. But the circus that comes with the man is an annoyance. The monstrous demands that are placed upon other players make it so that other guys have more of a strenuous time on teams that he's a part of, even though he's an easygoing guy himself. What comes with him is not. It is not. And it's stressful for a lot of guys, as I can see in it. It can either make you or break you. And it's like it's a gift and a curse because he's wired for it, and it's made him $1 billion. But for his teammates, it's not always the greatest thing until you win. But you're gonna lose too because that's just part of what comes with Bron as well. Unfortunately, he's not the greatest winning finals guy, but he is a great performer, a great basketball player in general. So you just take what comes with him, and I just look at basketball as a play the percentages game. You know, it's not an emotional sport necessarily, even though emotions have a lot to do with how momentum goes and how guys are engaged. So you have to incorporate emotion and feelings into it. But for me, it's more so I'm extracting that, for myself, and I'm just looking at it. Hey, I'm playing the percentages. This is what I see. LeBron James is only going to want to play for the Los Angeles Lakers until his son joins the NBA for the next, I think, 2 or 3 years from now. That's how long he is going to be committed to being with the Lakers. Best case scenario. That's best case scenario. Worst case scenario, he leaves right now. But best case scenario, he's staying till his kid gets here, and then he's going there. Now, how do we feel 3 years from now? Maybe he's falling off, and we don't care that he leaves. That could be possible. It could be a situation where he's still the same player, and we're devastated about it. And now we're looking at him like, "Are you really doing this? Are you serious?" Because I could see that being a thing. Because it's gonna be like that. I can almost see the Lakers doing stuff right now. Like, okay, we're not gonna trade you. We're gonna go get you Zach LaVine. We're gonna make the trade to get Malcolm Brogdon, and we're just gonna stay with you because we really know that we can't build nothing better than that if you walk away. Like, that's the mentality, it seems. And which, hey, if that's what it is, that's what it is. I don't feel that way about myself if I were in charge of the Lakers, but since I'm looking at them and they don't have their stuff together, maybe that makes more sense for them. So I'm rolling. My thing is, if we do this with Bron, are you sure you can meet the demands? And in meeting those demands, are you sure he's not going to leave anyway? And the answer is, I believe he will anyway. You see what I'm saying? It becomes a belief thing. Now, I believe LeBron James is not going to stay with the Lakers. I believe LeBron James is going to play with his kid. I believe LeBron James is going to get hurt in between now and then several times, and it's going to keep us from winning championships because of it. If he's 100% healthy for the next several years, maybe we build the right thing, get lucky, find ourselves in the final situation or playoff situation that we're appreciative of. Maybe we fizzle out, but hey, we're better than not making the playoffs and not having any picks for it. So I get not wanting to tank. You know what I mean? Because if she puts together a team that is absolute trash, like I would do, she's still not getting her picks for that garbage. I think for me, I'm just clearing up cap space in my mind, because if I clear up the cap space, I can utilize the G League and other avenues to bring talent to me. I trust myself as a scout. I trust my scouting team if I'm the Lakers. And I'm going to bring talent to me that I know I can develop. And I'm going to develop them properly. I'm going to make myself attractive to other free agents. And in 2026, 2027, you're going to see me get the next best star. If it's Jason Tatum, if it's Jokic, if it's Luka, whatever, they're getting my $200 million. And I will be attractive. And they will want me to be in Los Angeles. And it will be competitive to win championships because I'm going to build properly. That's what I'm going to do. You know what I mean? But that's not what they're thinking. They're thinking other things. They probably have other things behind the scenes that are tied into what it is they're doing too. Money stuff that is not in my head. So it's just unfortunate. That's what comes with being a Laker fan, unfortunately. And I've been giving a lot of thought to this. And this is a very controversial thought, but I think it's true. If I wasn't a Laker fan as a child, I don't think I'd be starting to become one right now. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I love my team, and I'm not going anywhere, obviously. It's a part of who I am at this point. But the things that they do and the things that they are trying to accomplish, I don't like. I don't appreciate those things as a fan. You guys know that if you follow me. So it's like, I prefer what Minnesota's doing. I prefer what Memphis is doing. I look over at the Ops, at the Boston. I respect what they're doing. Like, those are the teams that I would otherwise probably look toward if I didn't have any skin in the game. If I wasn't already a Laker fan for 30 years, basically. So they need to get their stuff together, man. That's what it really comes down to. This isn't fun. I'm not having fun. I no disrespect to LeBron James, but I'm not looking forward to LeBron James, Anthony Davis next year. I'm not in love with that duo. It was cool. It got me a championship. But I'm not in love with that duo. I look at Bron as somebody who is reluctant to play defense all the time by nature, which is fine because he has to conserve energy. I just don't like it. I don't like that. I don't want a player that needs to conserve energy to that degree that he doesn't play defense, or that he settles for 3-point shots a good 40% of the time when he's not a good 3-point shooter. See, I like playing the percentages. I think LeBron James is a much better passer than he is a 3-point shooter, and I think a lot of the times his 3-point shooters are much better 3-point shooters than he is. So if you're playing the percentages, he should be looking to make assists for them instead of shooting up easy shots to conserve energy. You could stand in those same spots instead of shooting and pass that rock to other people to get them open and draw fouls. That's how I want Bron to conserve energy. He just has a different philosophy about how he wants to go about things than I do as a fan. He wants to play with old guys. I'd prefer him to go the Chris Paul route. You look around at Chris Paul, ain't nobody around him his age. He knows better. He don't care about being friendly with none of these dudes. If it happen to be friends, cool. But he wants to make sure their bodies are thoroughbreds so he can have enough to go up against the field. And that's what I want Bron to be about. Not this, I want to play with my friends. I want to do all this. Look, I get it. He's reached a certain point in his career where he should have what he wants. He's been through enough one way or another to where he feels like he should have that, and that's fine. But there are other people attached to this. That's what it really comes down to. You could be the king, but you can't take that literally, fam. You know what I mean? We're not peasants here to behest of you. And once you start believing that, then it's time to come back down to earth. I don't know if that's where he is or not, but what I'm saying is he's got this franchise along for the ride, and his stipulations aren't built for us to win in this era, and he needs to catch up so that we can. You know what I mean? And that's why I don't want to do this with him. I'm like, look, I'm not waiting for him to come around on that. Me personally, as a Laker fan, I don't have time for that, man. To be completely honest with you, I'm looking forward at the field and these kids that are coming into the league, and I'm like, we're going to be a team that doesn't get any of them. He's going to go to say San Antonio or something, and we're not going to have no picks. We're going to be looking at a league full of youngsters while we're going to look like the Pistons did 2 years ago, and they didn't have nothing before Cade and Bay got there and all those guys. You don't want to be them. Be stuck with Blake Griffin, whatever the next Blake Griffin will be. Because that's all you're going to do is pick up a big contract of a guy who's going to disappear soon. I could totally see us being the next landing spot for like a James Harden if we don't get Zach LaVine, because that's where we're headed. We're going to be the spot that Dame lands when he's getting ready to go to sleep on the way out the door. Like, that's where we're going to, that's who we're setting ourselves up to be. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be the old guy destination. That sucked. We didn't like that this year. So, yeah, that's what this build 3 max contracts with no picks canvas actually looks like. It looks like you bringing in a bunch of guys on bad contracts, guys who've earned those contracts but are now headed downhill. So a super team of James Harden and Zach LaVine and LeBron James. That's what you're looking like. So if you think you're going to win that in this league full of these long players that play defense, the Joneses and the Finney Smiths and Williams in Boston, look, if you want to Run that team against that field. Have at it. And when you don't make the playoffs, come back here and I'll be like, see, I told you so. Because that's how that's going to go. They're not going to be good enough defensively unless you find them the pieces to do that. And where are they? Where are they? In the same place you're going to find everything else you need. In the damn G League, just like I said. So, it is what it is, man. The Lakers want to go forward with LeBron James. I'd imagine they're going to be happy they did so because he's going to be able to mask a lot of these problems that we have. But at the same time, that mask ain't really a mask because that mask got lights and diamonds and all kinds of stuff all over it. So guess what? Everybody's looking over here at your problems anyway. Lakers, if you really want to find yourself in a situation where you're pleased with where your team is, you are going to need to move on from LeBron James. That's not just a Stephen A narrative. That's actually what the books tell you. You cannot, in theory, build properly around this man. He don't care because he want to be in Los Angeles. He's not going to the Clippers. Do you understand what I'm saying? He'll sit here because he got rings, he got billion, and he cool. His family's happy. He's not going to move whether the team sucks or not. He's just going to make them whatever he wants them to be, just like he's always done with every franchise he's been a part of. It's his formula, man. It's just what he does. Just like I walk around this house with this phone in my hand, he does that to franchise. It's just who he is. Now, what y'all need to do, in my opinion, my humble opinion, is fix the front office so that you can have more confidence in a moving forward without LeBron. Now, maybe that's what they're thinking. Maybe they're like, you know what? Even if he doesn't sign an extension, we're already prepared for him to leave anyway. What we need to do is just have him mask our problems, have him keep us relevant while we fix these issues. And if that's what Genie is thinking, go for it. But don't think for 1 second he's not going to be a monkey wrench in that process. Because he's going to want you to win right now. He ain't going to want to do the Dame Lillard thing. He ain't. He already got all the money in the world. It's no incentive for him to do that for us. He wants to be here and he wants to do it his way. So as long as you guys are trying to fix your problem and do what it is that he needs you to do for him, you're going to be in a position where your problems take a backseat. That's it. That is all. If you think you can fix your issue while he sits there and Kobe's it out for you, as in plays on a bad team while you're struggling without saying anything or without upping and leaving in mid-season while y'all didn't even know he was going to do it, yes, that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. So, I'm just letting you know, whatever your plans are with Bron, ain't going to work. That ain't going to work. It's not going to work. Because even if he's committed to this crap right now, if he goes through another 6 months of this, believe you me, he gonna get tired of it. He gonna want to leave. Even if he doesn't know that now, I do. That's how that works. So, look, if you want my advice, you've already gotten it. Trade this man, trade his best friend AD, and get yourself a bunch of picks. If you got to trade them to the same spot so they'll be happy and still playing together, do that. But make sure you get back a return for them that resets your cap situation. That is literally the best thing for the Los Angeles Lakers. Anything outside of that, low key, is a mistake. I mean, anything. Any form of building a big three, any form of bringing any of these free agents to this situation with the expectations of winning a championship is stupid, bro. It's not happening. It's not happening. There's something called cohesiveness. And whatever we're about to put together ain't going to have it soon enough. Not to be going up against the Phoenixes and the Bucks and these teams that have been together for 3 and 4 years. Memphis, you're not beating those teams. Well, whatever you're about to slap together, especially if it has Zach LaVine, LeBron James, non-defensive playing selves a part of it, ain't gonna work. Let's be real. So, that is what it is, man. That is what it is. If y'all want to bring Zach LaVine to jump around, do some awesome stuff, I'm happy to see it. I'd love to see him in purple and gold. I just ain't gonna have no expectations of him winning nothing. That's all. Just gonna be real with y'all. My name is BDF44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.